Godzilla x Kong, Guardians of Equestria, written by Phantom Plus 1234. Chapter 15. The Nacre Nemesis. After claiming victory against the giant insectoid titans, Godzilla was slowly making his way towards an unknown island with the Heb as well as the main six and Co following close behind. Where is Godzilla heading now? Asked Applejack. They watched as Godzilla disappeared into the water with only his dorsal spikes indicating his location. Twilight, isn't that? Spike looked up at her. Yeah, he's headed towards the dragon's lair, said Twilight. Oh no, Ember. Spike, wait. Twilight followed after Spike as he rushed off. Spikey Wiki. Rarity cried out to him. We have to follow them, said Sunburst. How do we do that? Asked Trixie. Their ears perk up when they hear a familiar cry and look up to see Nacre descending towards them. Meanwhile, Twilight and Spike continue to follow Godzilla and the Heb towards the dragon's lair. As the island comes into view, they began to notice the island littered with weakened dragons that were covered in a mysterious blue substance. Twilight and Spike follow after the Heb as it lands on the island, scanning the area. What in Equestria? Asked Twilight. Well, this place definitely looks like it has seen better days, said Trapper. Elin walks over and examines the mysterious blue substance as Twilight and Spike begins checking up on the dragons. They look drained, said Spike. Miss P. Tobias is doing. If so, then we're already too late, said Twilight. Spike. The group looks up as a familiar blue-scaled dragon descends. Princess Ember. Spike runs up to her. Spike, what are you doing here? Ember asked. Under those humans. It's a long story, but before that, what exactly happened here? Spike asked. A lot of things, absolute chaos. First, this large three-headed dragon shows up and begins attacking everyone, except it didn't have scales, and instead of killing us, it simply captured us and began absorbing our energy. Everyone's drained. Spike looks over at Twilight. Hypermecha Ghidorah. Twilight nods. Not only that, but I think it used our energy to create another dragon, Ember continued. It created another dragon? Asked Spike. Ember was about to elaborate when she stepped back as she looked behind them. What the... Spike turned around as Godzilla slowly emerged from the water, snarling. Oh yeah, him, Princess Ember. Allow me to introduce you to Godzilla, said Spike. Godzilla? Ember looked at him with a dumbfounded expression. Yep, he's here because he's going to help us defeat that three-headed dragon you mentioned. This thing? Asked Ember. Godzilla looked down at her before snarling. I mean, sure, he looks powerful, but how is it possible that this thing's going to take on a three-headed dragon? We've seen his strength firsthand, and I can assure you he's no pushover, Twilight added. Anyway, you said it created a second dragon, right? Asked Spike. What is this other dragon? I don't know, it spit out those weird blue stuff and flew off, said Ember, pointing to the blue substance. Spike and Twilight walked over to Eileen as she stood up. Deck? Bernie asked. It's Nacre, said Eileen. Now what now? Asked Bernie. Nacre, a type of substance that can encapsulate and preserve living organisms, explained Eileen. If everyone here is covered in that stuff, isn't that a bad thing? Asked Spike. Most likely, and if what your friend said is true, then there can only be one monster that can be responsible for this, said Eileen. Their conversation is suddenly interrupted when a loud roar fills the area. Oh, what was that? Asked Spike. Then without warning, something flies in and grabs onto Godzilla. They look up to see a large dragon covered in black scales latched onto Godzilla. It had a head resembling a fish and two bovine-like horns with reptilian eyes. The Iron Dragon, said Eileen. They watched as the Iron Dragon bit down onto Godzilla's neck and attempted to pry open his mouth with its four-pronged pincer-like tail, only for Godzilla to rip one of the prongs off, causing it to yelp. Godzilla quickly grabbed the dragon and throws it at the large stone structure in the center of the island before it circles back for another attack. Godzilla began to charge up a blast of his atomic breath, but not before the Iron Dragon sprayed Godzilla in the face with Nacre, stunning him long enough to retaliate with an attack of its own. Hey, shouldn't we help him? Asked Ember. Hey, just watch, said Spike. Ember looked back up as Godzilla grabbed the Iron Dragon by one of its legs and pulls it down before blasting it in the face with a dose of its atomic breath. As the Iron Dragon tries to escape, Godzilla simply grabbed it by the wings and swung it around in a circle and tore one of its wings clean off before hurling it towards the stone structure in the center of the island. As the dragon scrambled to get back up, Godzilla fired off another blast of his atomic breath, causing the Iron Dragon to explode before roaring towards the sky. No way that just happened, said Ember. Told you he's strong, said Spike. At the moment, any remains of the Iron Dragon along with all the Nacre began to dissolve into golden dust. Ember flew up to Godzilla's level, clearly impressed. You're not so bad after all. I like someone who can hold his own in battle, Godzilla snorts in response. I don't think he understands you, Amber, said Spike. Oh yeah, how about this? She rose before spewing a fountain of fire towards the sky. Seeing this, Godzilla charges up his atomic breath before firing it towards the sky before looking towards Ember. I really like him. I have a feeling Godzilla and Ember will get along great, Twilight chuckles. Hey! They look up as Methra descends and the others jump off at her. We saw a bright pink light. Is Agriponi okay? Asked Applejack. Huh, nothing's here. Did we miss it? Asked Pinky. Yeah, Godzilla pretty much cleaned up the mess in just a minute, said Spike. Are you serious? Exclaimed Rainbow Dash. Oh well, maybe next time, darling, said Rarity. Who's the giant moth? Asked Ember. Odor, don't worry, she's on our side, said Starlight. More importantly, what happened? Spike and Twilight quickly explained to the rest of the group what transpired on the Dragonlands. So even the dragons, said Tempest. Yeah, it seems as more time passes, the victims continue to pile up. We need to hurry, said Aline. Man, I really wanted to see Godzilla beat up a dragon, Rainbow Dash pouted. Now's not the time to be complaining, said Applejack. She's right, I've gotten another rating, said Aline. Well, looks like we're off again, said Capper. So you're leaving? Asked Ember. Sorry, but if we want to help Equestria, we have to keep moving, said Spike. I understand. Well, if you ever need anything, don't hesitate to ask me. I'll do whatever I can, said Ember. Thanks, Ember, said Spike. Godzilla's on the move, let's roll, said Trapper. Spike said his final goodbyes before following after the others as they continue forward to their next destination. If you guys are enjoying this story, please give it a like, comment your thoughts, give me a follow and share this story with your friends, and I hope you all enjoyed the show and see you